An oil spill is the release of liquid petroleum hydrocarbon into an environment, especially marine areas. It is a huge form of pollution and causes multiple casualties in animals and humans. It tends to happen in lakes, rivers, oceans, and swamps. It tends to affect the habitats of beavers, turtles, fishes, and whatever animal drinks or uses that for a life. Oil spills are caused by oil tankers, water sports, human activity, and the earth itself.
When oil tankers have equipment faults or oil tankers break down and make it stuck on shallow land, when the tanker is attempted to move out of shallow land, abrasion in the water pressure may cause a hole in the tanker. That will lead to a large amount of oil being released into the ocean bodies, which could kill a lot of animals and harm the environment. However, this form of oil spill is the most commonly known and has the highest media attention. Only 2% of oil in water bodies is a result of this action. Even though this type of oil spill only causes 2% of oil in water, it's still one of the most dangerous types of oil spill. Other causes of oil spills are spills by petroleum users of released oil. This happens when various water sports or water vehicles such as motorboats and jet skis leak a lot of fuel out into the water. A lot of people disagree with the idea of water sports because of how much oil it releases into the water. The problem with water sports is that it's just so much fun.
The last cause, and possibly the most dangerous one, is human beings and the earth itself.
The majority of oil spilled is from natural seeps, geological seeps from the ocean floor, as well as leaks that occur when products using petroleum or various forms of oil are used on land, and the oil is washed off into water bodies. It's a catastrophe. We have oil leaking from the bottom of our oceans, and what do we decide to do about it? Instead of trying to prevent this from happening, we build machines that break down and spill more oil into the ocean. Are we just polluting the ocean for fun right now? It's like when we dig ourselves a hole, and instead of trying to climb our way back out of it, we just keep digging, thinking we can get to the other side of the world.
Oil spills that happen in rivers, bays, and the ocean most often are caused by accidents involving tankers, barges, pipelines, refiners, drilling rigs, and storage facilities. Spills could be caused by people making mistakes, being careless, or equipment breaking down. Also, equipment faults cause 21% of oil spills, but this can be reduced if human inspectors inspect the equipment daily, not randomly. What the companies can do is that they can hire more experienced workers so that these accidents can be reduced so that they don't happen. Because when they happen, it's a disaster, and we need to fix it.
Not only do humans affect oil spills, but oil spills affect humans. Oil spills affect the world by taking away food options from the sea, so we can't eat fish like shrimp or tuna or salmon. It also pollutes all of our oceans and pollutes the world. And lastly, it costs so much money to clean up.
First, pollution. Pollution is a huge factor when an oil spill occurs because of all the oil that is going into the water. It also pollutes the sky. When Deepwater Horizon happened, the oil rig caught on fire. When that happened, the oil caught fire and polluted the air around it. And it made it hard to breathe for the people around. Just imagine what that did to the air. Not just the water in the sky, but the land as well. Multiple beaches have been polluted by an oil spill. Here
here in Canada, we haven't dealt with many oil spills. But around the world, there's been so many places where there's been an oil spill. And in those places, there's shortage of good breathing air, food, and water supplies because of the oil has damaged it. It's also created a lot of pollution.
Not just humans are affected by oil spills, but animals too. Lots of animals are killed by oil spills. What happens is the oil gets into the animal's fur or feathers. The oil in the feathers or fur allows water to get to the bird or other animal, causing it to be cold and either die from hypothermia, or the animal tries to clean themselves and they are poisoned from the oil. Lucky for these animals, people are putting in their own time to clean them. The problem is there are still way too many animals who are dying due to oil, especially fish. Certain communities rely on fishing to survive. They need the food. And when oil spills happen, the fish are no longer there. They're gone. And we have to suffer.
When an oil spill occurs, it doesn't just kill animals. It costs a lot of money to clean up. The reason why we need to clean the oil is because we can't just let it stay in the ocean forever, because the oil will spread around. The amount of money it costs to clean up an oil spill is crazy. It ranges between millions and billions of dollars. As technology becomes more advanced in the future, it will cost less money, but it would still be loads of money to clean up. The Deepwater Horizon oil spill cost an unbelievable amount of money to clean up. It cost approximately $54 billion. Imagine if the oil spill never happened. We wouldn't have wasted $54 billion. I know accidents happen, but this was more like a tragedy than anything. They even made a movie about it. And this is just one oil spill I have named. There's been over 130 oil spills in recent history. Imagine how much money it costs to clean all of that up in total.
We need to stop wasting money.
We have some very interesting, or should I say deadly, facts.
To start off with the deadly facts. If a country's at war, one may decide to dump oil into the other country's water.
Here's another deadly fact. Deepwater Horizon claimed the lives of 11 people and wounded so many more.
Castle de Belver, a Spanish tanker, in 1983, spilled over 78 gallons of oil into the ocean.
The worst spill in history is not the Exxon Valdez spill, as once thought. The undersea spill at the BP rig in the Gulf of Mexico is now thought to have spilled up to 39 million gallons of oil.
Over a quarter of Louisiana's coastline is polluted by oil.
The deep water explosion is also credited to killing over 150 endangered sea turtles and 300 seabirds.
One of the other issues that is arising due to the spill of the Gulf of Mexico, in other words, Deepwater Horizon, are the number of people being made sick and the amount of shrimp that is considered to be inedible, courtesy of the chemicals that were also spilled during the accident. For the final and last deadly fact, on many gambling sites, you can now get good odds on the bets hedged for which species will be the first to go extinct as a result of the BP oil spill. The BP oil spill, as you can see in this picture, has harmed a lot of the Gulf of Mexico's water.
We are going to talk to you about how we can clean up oil spills once they've happened and how we can prevent them in the future. Dispersions, booms, and skimmers are the most frequently used method to clean up oil spills. Dispersions are a mix of emulsifiers and solvents that help break down the oil into small droplets following an oil spill. The small droplets are easier to disperse in the water. This form is often used in cleaning up oil spills. Booms and skimmers are used just as often. Booms contain the oil so that skimmers can collect it. Booms are floating barricades placed around the oil to contain it. Skimmers can be boats, vacuums, sponges, or oil-absorbent ropes that skim spilled oil from the water's surface within the booms. We know how to deal with an oil spill, but wouldn't it just be easier to not have them in the first place? Some of the ways we can prevent oil spills from happening is making sure whoever's driving oil tankers knows where they can and cannot drive, inspecting equipment more, doubling the haul, and being as careful as possible when transporting oil.
We've named a couple of ways we can prevent oil spills from happening. But there are still so many other ways that oil spills can be stopped. As technology progresses, when there will be an oil spill, it will be way easier to clean up.
In today's video, we talked to you guys about what oil spills are,
How they happen,
how they affect the world, the environment, human beings,
some very deadly facts,
and how we can prevent these oil spills from happening in the future.